3, 2, 1. Olá, nós somos a Aliança LGB Portugal. Estamos a representar o, ah, o grupo português da LGB Alliance Internacional e para a nossa primeira entrevista convidamos a Stella O'Malley, da Genspect, devido à conferência que terá lugar esta semana em Lisboa. A partir de agora, nós vamos falar em inglês, e fazer aqui uma breve entrevista com a Stella, numa tentativa de perceber o que é a Genspect, qual é a importância desta organização neste momento em Lisboa e em que medida é que uh, as coisas vão funcionar. Portanto, nós temos. Lançámos esta semana o nosso manifesto e as nossas redes sociais, que podem encontrar aqui no finalzinho da nossa página. E pronto, vamos falar aqui com a Stella. João, não sei se queres dar uma palavrinha aqui ou dar um alô.
Se de repente acho que não. Pronto, o nosso manifesto está no site, alianca.lgb.pt, é só irem ler. Estamos agora a começar, portanto, e pronto, agora vamos então começar com a entrevista.
Ok, então, direto ao ponto. Stella, very welcome to Lisbon. Is this your first time in Lisbon, Stella?
No, I was there with my family a few months ago. I loved it. We were there in about April, I think. It was beautiful.
Okay. What is your favorite thing in Lisbon?
The pathways, the tiles on the pathways, they were really beautiful. All the different tiles, as well as that the buildings had these colorful, they kind of reflected across each other. They were beautiful, really, really lovely.
Yes. And you choose the very nice moments to visit Lisbon because in April it's not the full thing. In summer it gets a bit more uh like the chaotic. Well, Lisbon is a touristic place now, and it's very fine. It's fine to visit in in any moment. But April is good because it's not that hot. It's not that
Yeah,
cold.
it was lovely. It was lovely,
Yeah.
really lovely.
Okay. So. It will be lovely now in September too.
I
Good
can't wait.
weather, sunny, sunny days, and that's it. Okay, so I had some questions in my mind. First, I would like you to speak a bit about Genspect for the people who are not aware about what is Genspect.
Well, Genspect was formed in 2021. That's 3 years ago. And we formed it because so many parents came to me because they were in distress that their children wanted to medically transition. And these are very vulnerable children with maybe autism or ADHD or anxiety. And it didn't feel appropriate. And then as the years have gone by, it's become quite clear that there's no evidence base to support medical transition. It's a very heavy, invasive, very difficult life road. And there's much easier ways to help people who might feel that they're born in the wrong body or they feel that they should be a man when they're born a woman and things. And as a result of that, we've created our organization to promote a non-medicalized approach to gender dysphoria. Lots of people might have gender dysphoria these days, but that doesn't mean you have to change your body. You can actually you can get over it in many different ways, and people aren't exploring those different ways, and that's what we're promoting.
Yes. Exactly. It's very important that approach, not to have an alternative to the medicalization, to the distortion of the body. So, what would you consider the GenSpec's target audience or audiences in plural?
Well, originally it was parents. It was the parents
Mhm.
of all these kids with ROGD, that's rapid onset gender dysphoria, which is a kind of a new type of gender issues that's never been seen before. But it's not only that, we also have a kind of a therapeutic kind of wing where we offer funding for detransitioners. These are people who have transitioned and regretted it. We offer funding for therapy for detransitioners so that if they want, they can seek a therapist, and we'll pay for their therapy. A lot of them have been really, really disappointed by their medical transition. And we also run therapeutic support groups for the parents and also for the detransitioners, so they can come together and they don't have to feel like they're alone. As well as that, we offer a lot of different kind of information so that people understand what's going on. If people think this is a simple subject, they don't understand it. It's incredibly complex. And so we offer a lot of information, whether it's by films or through literature. We've had 2 books published. We're going to have another book published next year, all advocating for, it's fine to be gender nonconforming. Maybe you're gay, maybe you're lesbian, or maybe you're autistic, or maybe you're just troubled. That's perfectly fine, but there's no need to change your body to become a different person, because that's a very difficult road. Creates an imposition on society. It creates a huge amount of kind of cognitive distress on somebody. There are much easier and better and healthier options. And so we promote those. We have a podcast as well, Gender Wider Lens, and we have loads of
Yes,
different things. Yeah.
let me share the. Is it easy to find the book in your website?
It should be somewhere down that timeline you were looking at. There's
Okay,
2 books
so
we've kind of associated with Genspect. One is When Kids Say They're Trans. I was one of the authors on that book. That's for parents. And another book, which is also for parents, which is a great book, which is Parents Wrote It, and it's called Parents with Inconvenient Truths About Trans, and it's all the parent stories. There's some
it,
devastating stories. If you scroll
mhm,
down, I'd say you'll get it.
yes, yes. So this is the podcast you are mentioning, a
Yeah,
wider lens, right?
yeah. There's
And
Parents with
kids,
Inconvenient. Yeah, that's an
I
amazing Substack.
they have yes, I know the Substack, and
It's
they
great.
also have we received their newsletter.
They'll be at
Also,
the conference. And then we do a lot of webinars. Our YouTube channel is very lively. So we have a lot of things. And Stats for Gender. You see that one? Just go back up there. It's like Stats for Gender
right,
is a really important. That's our biggest website. See that one? If you ever want information, if you ever want statistics, just scroll down a little bit. If you want statistics about anything to do with gender, so you click on any one of them, pronouns, puberty blockers, suicide, and you'll get peer-reviewed statistics. Because when you're trying to figure out about this, there's so much misinformation. It's really, really
yes,
helpful to have just really clear, understandable kind of English with very, quality evidence that is supported by peer-reviewed studies. So that's a huge website that we have. It's really, really popular, that one, because it's so helpful. Journalists love it. Yeah, so we do a lot of different things. We have, something like 7 online support groups for parents every week. We've so many, about 1,000 parents we help every week.
mhm. All all the groups, all the help groups are held in English, I suppose.
Yeah, we do get a lot of people from other countries. We get people from Spain, from Italy, Germany,
Mhm.
obviously huge amount from Australia, New Zealand, Finland, Iceland, Sweden.
Brazil, do you have contacts in Brazil?
Oh, we do. Yes, we do. We've had there's quite a lot from kind of South America, Chile and things. But I don't
Mhm.
think I've heard of much from Portugal. So I think Portugal is new kind of territory for us. I'm trying to think.
Yes, this is quite new because we have also some parents organizations. We in LGB Alliance would like to mention them later. Some of them will also be in Genspect conference. But yes, the parents are now getting organized. The school started this week, so but it's very hard to organize because I'm not a parent, but I know people who are doing a great job here in Portugal, trying to reach other parents. They adapted an idea from Spain, I believe, called PIN parental, the parental PIN, in which they deliver to the school, saying that they do not authorize their kids to do certain activities or certain things. So it's not just like they don't exist. They try to do these things, but it's a bit hard because everything is coming so fast that it's hard to organize. Even us here in LGB Alliance, we were trying to launch all this for many time. Only this week we managed to, okay, let's do it right now. So, but it takes time because there are very few people well informed. There are lots of counter information. The media don't publish, they hold the information. So that's why we need to step up because
Yeah.
nobody is doing this. So that's why we cannot wait more. And let's play with the cards we have.
And
Um,
may I just speak on that? It's so
yes,
important that we all help each other, all the organizations help each other. This is a huge global problem. There's so many
yes,
different strands to it. You know, there's the LGB strand to it, there's the autistic strand to it, there's the parents, there's the detransitioners, there's the young ROGD kids. There's so many different aspects to it. And then there's the whole autogynephile, the autogynephilia issue, that we have to kind of work together, even when we disagree. And that's one thing I think Genspect is really quite strong on, that we insist on inviting everybody to our conferences, even though everybody is annoyed with each other because we do. So we mightn't, but
but
yeah, we have to. I think it's
we have
essential.
to communicate because we need to,
Yeah.
even if we don't agree with
Yes.
everything or they criticize certain things, we need to focus on the points we have in common.
As
So
yeah, as well as that, we need to, our outcomes are better when we meet people who don't agree with us, because they stretch our brains and they make us think harder, and we come up with better outcomes. Because I'm a psychotherapist, and often the psychotherapists and the psychologists, they're in one group and they're talking to each other about gender dysphoria. Then the feminists are in a completely other group and they're talking about all the issues for women's spaces. And the lawyers are in another place, and the teachers are in another place, and the philosophers are off somewhere else. And we need to bring everybody together, and that's what Genspect does with the conference. We bring everybody together. So even if everybody argues with each other, it doesn't matter. Everybody is realizing there are lots of strands to this issue, and focusing on
yes.
one strand will probably mean you miss out on other quite significant aspects of the issue. It's really layered, it's really complex. So I think that's the strongest thing that Genspect can offer, is the insistence that we listen to all the different points.
Okay, so you already answered to one of the questions I already had, so you are ahead of it. But yes, absolutely, we need to try to leave our bubbles. Like if we communicate only with LGB people, we are missing everything else.
Yes.
Because I don't have kids, but I have
Yes.
nephews, I have a niece, and I have friends with kids. I'm not only that L from the LGB. I'm much more than that. I have my profession. I have my personal interests. I am a woman also. Uh, so we need to
Yeah, there's
because
the sports people, and there's, the sport, it's really ripped up women's sports. Then there's women in prison. Somebody has to think about the women in prisons. You know what I mean? And then there's little kids like I was, which is very gender non-conforming kids. They can really get swept along these days. There's so many different kids to think about and issues.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So we need to get together and try to focus in our common things and also in our specific areas, in our specific stuff. So um, also other thing I would like to ask.
Should we stop the share, I wonder?
Oh yes. Let me just stop it. Why is Genspect coming to Lisbon and now?
The reason why we are going to Lisbon is because we are we have been confronted by WPATH, which is the World Professional Association for Transgender Health. And they have become the kind of self-identified leaders of trans healthcare. The reason why they're the self-identified leaders of trans healthcare is nobody else wanted that title, and they're very, very well funded. So they used to be a very fringe, small organization, and now they're a very, very wealthy organization. And they go around the world with different conferences, but they will not listen to anybody else who says, well, what about gender nonconforming people without transitioning? What about healthcare that isn't about transition? What about healthcare for people who are gender nonconforming that just doesn't even touch medicalizing? And they have this hashtag, which is hashtag no debate, and they refuse to consider that there's any other treatment for gender dysphoria. And so because we tried many times over to kind of negotiate and talk with them, and we realized this is just an activist-led organization that is pretty much rotten to the core. And, you know, there's been like files that Michael Schellenberger released, the WPATH files that revealed that not only are they causing harm, but the clinicians, the WPATH clinicians, they know they are causing harm. They know that these young people are regretting these very radical interventions. So as a result of their kind of attitude that they will not discuss anything, we insist on following them around the world. So whenever they have a conference, we'll have a conference at the same time in the same city. So they came to Killarney in Ireland in April 2023, and we went to Killarney in Ireland. Then they went to Denver in Colorado in November 2023. So we went to Denver in Colorado, and we brought everybody who wants to talk about it. And everybody in our conference has loads of different ideas about how to handle the fact that some people get distressed about their gender or their sexed body. And so now they've decided to go to Lisbon in this month, September, and so we're going to Lisbon. So we're following them. I'm sure they could live without us. But anyway,
I
somebody
know
has to
why they
challenge them.
picked Lisbon
Why?
because it's
Yeah,
still, yeah, because it's still good weather to go to the beach.
of course.
Um,
Yes, definitely.
and
Yeah.
I gather it's a big place. Lots of conferences are held in Lisbon. Is that right?
Yes, lots of conferences all the time. There are lots of hotels because there is a certain proximity from the airport. It's easy to reach from the airport
Mhm.
to
Yes.
the main hotels here in central Lisbon. So, and also there
And
are lots of
is it hot enough to go to the beach?
Yeah, it is.
yes,
Yes, at the
That's,
moment, I think it's like 26 or 27 degrees. So
oh, great. I didn't realize. I'm
pretty good.
thrilled.
Yeah.
That's great
Yeah.
news.
Um, so I think I had more or less all the questions. I don't know if you would like to add anything else or any reflection. What actually I came up with another one. Uh, I think you already answered this, but just to clarify. So, in your opinion, so these kind of movements like LGB Alliance, now each time more countries are joining, we joined this week, but we have other countries who have attended the meetings and also organizing themselves. And the parents organizations, um, the thing. What do you think uh, that we can do to improve our communication with each other? What would be your advice? Because you are in the terrain, we are in local for a long time, and you speak with many people from different backgrounds and countries. What is your view?
I think
What is
it's
your
very
thinking?
imp I think it's very important we support anybody who does speak up. If you don't feel that you can speak up yourself, I think it's very important that you support those who do speak up, because a lot of people are frightened to speak up. Maybe they have family issues, maybe they have issues with their work. But if possible, if you're not speaking up, and you probably should be, if you're not speaking up, you can support the people who are speaking up, because I think this is a challenge to people's integrity. And I think we all wanted to know, what would you do in a war? You know, how would you react in a crisis? Well, this is the challenge. It's very, very difficult to say unpopular opinions. It's very, very difficult to say dangerous opinions. But sometimes it's very important that we do. And this is one of those issues. I think it's very important to either speak up or help people who do speak up.
Okay. I came up with another question. I'm sorry, I'm
Go
trying to be
ahead. Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
You mentioned the WPath files. I investigated a bit of it, and the CAS report. What do you think it had any effect, in any real effect by now, or do you think there will be any changes? Is this a milestone? Do you think this is a of course, this is important, but my question is, do you see any changes from?
I think WPATH have been fatally wounded. I think they've been discredited as an organization. I think us following them around the world, I think the WPATH files, I think the Hillary Cass report that came out from England, I think people are just pulling away from WPATH. They are no longer the authority that they once were. They're like, a kind of Enron or something, that they might be still going, but they've lost all credibility and all reputation.
Did you say they are like what?
Enron, do you remember the bank that kind of collapsed? And it takes a little bit of time. You remember the bank in America, Enron, Enron? It was one of those
No,
Enron.
banks.
I think
You
I
know,
know Enron, I think. Yeah. I
yeah,
think I've heard about it. Yeah.
yeah. They're like
this
a
is a
they're
joke.
like they're like a dead man walking. Everybody knows that they do not have the credibility that they once have. They do not have the authority they once have. They're just not talking to anybody, and they're not speaking with anybody, and they hope that they can continue. This is an activist-led organization that is losing credibility every month. Every month it's losing credibility. I honestly think within a year, so many organizations will pull away from them that we will see significant changes in attitudes to people about WPATH over the next couple of years. Maybe not 1 year, but over the next few years, I think they're gone, but they have time to run on, but they're on the way out, I think.
Okay, so
But
we
there'll be
hope.
others. What can I just say? Have no doubt. There will be other organizations that will be very quick to take their positions, if you follow me. And so I think as an issue, this is going to continue for some time. But I think WPATH are in difficulty.
Yes. So that's why we invited you, because we expect Genspect gains more protagonism in this issue, because the approach that you have is absolutely different, and from our point of view, the correct way to deal with these issues.
Thank you.
So, Stella, I don't know if you'd like to add anything else, John.
No, I wish I had the Portuguese to say thank you, but I don't.
Obrigada. Obrigado.
Obrigado.
And
I
actually,
remember that from my holidays. Obrigada. Yes.
obrigada.
Obrigada.
Yeah.
Funny thing, let me tell you this. Obrigada is a gendered word.
Yes.
So women say obrigada, but João will not say obrigada. What would you say, João?
Obrigado.
Oh.
Yes.
Ha.
I'm writing
So
here.
I say obrigada and he says obrigado.
Yes,
Oh,
males
Yes.
say obrigado. It means something like grateful. I'm grateful.
Mhm.
obliged. Yeah, obliged.
Yes,
Obliged, exactly.
it
It
is.
works. It
Yeah.
works like an adjective, right?
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
feel like obliged,
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah.
So
Oh, there we go.
this is a
Obrigada.
obrigado.
De
Wish
nada.
you a very nice stay here.
Thank you.
A wonderful conference, and let's go for it. Thank you very much,
Okay.
Stella. Enjoy and
Obrigada.
welcome to Lisbon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.